Hey, what's up, guys? It's Oscar the Movie Guy Dean. Today I'm going to give you my top 10 worst movies of 2015. 2015 has been a good year for movies and also a bad one. But I'm just going to start off with my top 10 worst, and I'll do my best later. So yeah, these movies, like, they were painful to go through. I mean, pretty much cried, like, or teared up after I saw one of them. And so now it's 2016. I'm here to make the list. Before I begin the top 10, I do have some dishonorable mentions. My three dishonorable mentions are The Woman in Black 2, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, and Poltergeist 2015 remake. Number 10 is Unfinished Business. Wow. If I had to explain to you all, like, what was the story of this movie, I would have to say, three guys getting a handshake. That's it. Three guys getting a handshake for a business deal. And also, the movie fails to be a comedy. I mean, there's drama about Vince Vaughn's son getting bullied and they have to pay for his tuition in order to go to a good school. I mean, I feel like that drama storyline with them and his family, like, I feel like that took away the focus of being a comedy. And that's why I did not like this movie. But yeah, number 10 is Unfinished Business. Number 9 is The Last Witch Hunter. Oh boy. Okay. First off, I had no interest in going to see this movie in theaters, but my cousin really wanted to because she loves witch movies and she really likes Vin Diesel. So I was like, you know what, I'll go with you. And man, I made a mistake because this movie is atrocious. Pile of shit. Number 8 is a movie that I reviewed in January. I remember giving it a C, but when my dad bought this movie on Blu-ray on Black Friday for $6, I decided to watch it again. You know, before I made this list, and thank God I watched it again because this movie is just awful. And I don't know what was I thinking of thinking this movie was mediocre when I first saw it in theaters, but number 8 is Taken 3. How do you go to a film that it was so great, which was the first Taken, make a sequel, which was alright, and end it with this? Why did this movie have to be made? The worst part is, the director from the second film also directed this movie. There's a shaky cam action. The actors don't care. I guess Liam Neeson was only there for the paycheck. Liam Neeson was alright. But man, the action made me dizzy. And I just could not take it. Yeah. Number 8 is Taken 3. Number 7 is a movie that I never saw in theaters. Came out in January. I heard it was bad. I went to go see it with a friend, but my friend had no interest in seeing it. So I had no other way of seeing it. So, and when this movie came out on Blu-ray DVD, I rented it. And man, I'm glad I rented it because number 7 is The Boy Next Door. Jennifer Lopez as an English language arts teacher, and Ryan Gosling, which I believe is the name of the actor, like the creepy stalking Jennifer Lopez. His character was laughable. His acting is terrible. And also you have Jennifer Lopez's son, who I'm pretty sure he's dyslexic, and you don't really care about him because you don't really get to know his character. And then he tries to be friends with Ryan Gosling's character, which honestly I think his character was named Noah. And yeah, the two of them kept hanging out together, and why would you betray him at the end? I mean, if you two were friends and you almost saved his life, I mean, why would you save his life and then try to hurt him. I do not like this director. I believe it's directed by Rob Cohen, which directed Alex Cross, the first Fast and Furious film. And yeah, that's all I know. But yeah, I did not like this movie. Number 7 is The Boy Next Door. Number 6 is a movie that I was looking forward to. I mean, it was from the director of Taken. Saw it on the opening week. It actually came out, and the first 5 minutes of this movie, I knew that I made a terrible mistake, and I knew this movie was going to be bad by the end of it, and I was right. And number 6 is The Gunman. How is it possible that the director of Taken, which was the only good Taken film, directed this and make a movie that's so boring? It's actually a boring action movie. There are a few good filmed action scenes, but that's about it. I mean, Sean Penn trying to be Liam Neeson, it doesn't work. And also, there's a romance between Sean Penn and the girl, which I don't even know her name. I don't even want to know. I don't even know her name. And also the villain, how it was revealed. It's like, come on, really? That's all you can do? This movie was an hour and 55 minutes. It's almost 2 hours of boring. This movie had a good story, but it flushed it down the toilet. Okay, number 6 is The Gunman. Number 5 is a movie that I was actually looking forward to. I mean, I never saw it in theaters. It was a box office bomb, which was only released in 2 weeks. I rented it from Redbox, just like I did with The Boy Next Door. And it's one of those movies where it's like, who did this? Who did that? Like a crime thriller mystery investigation, which is my favorite, especially from Gone Girl, which was one of my favorites of 2014. But man, this was so different and such a bad version of this. Number 5 is The Loft. I mean, these are really good actors, and they're all douchebags. I mean, all of them, all of them are married and they cheat on their wives. I mean, for what? I mean, why would you cheat on your wives? I mean, if they were single, then yeah, I can understand why you go with hookers every other night. The only thing I liked about this movie was the plot twist ending. I had no idea that was coming. At least 2 of the actors, which I don't even want to name them right now. At least 2 of them tried. They tried, but the rest, they did not care. They did not care. So yeah, number 5 is Loft. Number 4 is actually a found footage horror movie. It's an original idea, so I was actually really looking forward to this. I saw it in a premiere night in theaters back in the summer, and this movie. Number 4 is The Gallows. Oh my god, The Gallows is shit. You have a douchebag character that's very unlikable. I just couldn't wait for him to die. Spoiler alert, that unlikable character I'm talking about, he actually dies in the middle. I was like, finally, yes! But, oh my god, I could not take him anymore. He was so annoyed. He picked on girls, made fun of nerds, disrespected teachers, and disrespected his friends. And also the fucking jump scares. Stop, alright? Just stop with the jump scares, alright? They're not scary, they're not creative, they're not original. Just stop doing that. So yeah, number 4 is The Gallows. Okay guys, here we are, the top 3 worst movies of 2015. Boy, I had a rough time figuring out which one should go in order, like which one should be number 3, number 2, number 1, because all these 3 movies I gave an F. So yeah. Number 3 is a movie that me and my friend were really looking forward to. We went to go see in theaters together, and we were both very let down, big time. Number 3 is Fantastic Four, or Fan 4 Stick, like everyone else is calling it, which yeah, Fan 4 Stick. 20th Century Fox, when are you going to stop trying? I mean, just give the rights back to Marvel. I mean, they're going to do a better job. I mean, this is your 3rd attempt. Like, actually, I would say 4th, but I'm not even sure if Fox made the one that came out in 1994, which I have never seen, and I never will. And the worst part is, the one that came out in 2005 was better than this piece of crap. How can that be related? In this world, an original version better than a reboot. Me saying that proves that this is a terrible movie. I asked my friend, "Oh, what did he think? What did he think of the movie?" And he said it was crap. I said, "What would you give it?" He said, "I'd give it a 0." I agree. I give this a 0 too. Now, this Fantastic Four is one of those movies when you're going to it because a lot of people say that it's bad. So yeah, you go into this movie with low expectations, and when you watch like the first 30 minutes of it, you'll be like, "Oh, this movie ain't that bad. It's actually okay." But after that, it's like, "Oh, oh, oh, it really is that bad." Because yes, it is that bad. Alright? And once the title said 1 year later in the first hour, everything goes to hell. So yeah, number 3 is Fantastic Four. Number 2 is a movie that I actually like the director. I mean, he directed Cabin Fever and Hostel, which I never saw both of them, and everyone keeps saying that he is a master of horror movies. And this movie that he directed that came out in September, I decided to go see in theaters on the opening weekend, and I wish I didn't, because number 2 is The Green Inferno. Gosh! This movie was disgusting, it was inappropriate, and it had no reason to be a cannibal movie. It was never explained why they did this. I mean, eating humans alive. I actually wanted to cry when I left the theater because I just wasted a matinee price just to go see this movie. The first 45 minutes of this movie is actually character development. And you get a main character that's unlikable and her slut whore roommate, which I don't even know why she was in it. In fact, after seeing this movie, it's like, why does everyone love director Eli Roth? I mean, he's not a master in horror. If you want to know who the best horror director is, that's James Wan, who directed The Conjuring and Insidious. So yeah, number 2 is The Green Inferno. Here we are. My number 1 worst movie of 2015 is a movie that not a lot of people saw. It wasn't even released in theaters. Not a lot of people put it on the worst movies of 2015 list. And I was ashamed that they didn't. But I'm glad that they decided to skip it. I'll give you a hint. This movie was released on Netflix. You guessed it. My number 1 worst movie of 2015 is The Ridiculous Six. I never thought that a movie with Adam Sandler being my number one worst movie of the year. I can't believe no one put this on their worst list. Am I the only one who really hated it? It was that bad. It was worse than Grown Ups, worse than Blended, worse than Just Go With It, worse than Grown Ups 2, worse than any other Adam Sandler movie that we had. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Adam Sandler, like, other movies that he released are actually mediocre. I mean, I don't have a problem with the guy. He's just dumb. And this movie, I finally felt that anger in Adam Sandler. If this movie was released in theaters and I went to go see it, I would have destroyed my room and light it on fire. That's how bad The Ridiculous Six was. And the baseball scene? What was the whole point of that? The baseball scene? And the 1800s? Oh my god, that was the worst part! Adam Sandler. I think it's best if you just stick with animated movies like Hotel Transylvania 1, 2. In fact, I think it's best off if you just do Hotel Transylvania 3. Yeah, that should be your next movie. Not live action, but animation. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 worst movies of 2015. I'm sorry that there were movies that were not in the list because either I never seen them or actually liked them. So yeah, that was my list. My best movies of 2015 should be up in a while. Like, I still have to catch up with some good movies that I heard great reviews. So yeah, like, rate, subscribe. Tell me guys, what are your top 10 worst movies of 2015? Comment down below, and I'll see you guys later.